Today in our Pocket Survival Kit reviews, we're going to look at the LIVABIT Emergency Survival Kit. I got it off Amazon. It was only $10, and it is a tool survival kit. It's not so much a items covering the essential needs such as fire and shelter and water and such. It's a toolkit, but we're going to look at it anyway. So this is a tool-centric kit, and we'll just look at the features real quick. It comes with a Paracord bracelet with compass, fire starter, and whistle, a stainless steel Versatile multi-card tool, a wire saw, an emergency whistle, that's 2 whistles, a multifunction flashlight, pliers, and a hard case. So I have everything splayed out here. Let's first look at the hard case. It's okay. It looks better than it is. I'm glad it's got 4 of these little snap tabs because 2 wouldn't do it. It's very, very cheap. But this is a $10 kit. All right, so let's look at the, what do they call this? The multi-purpose pocket survival tool. What does it have on it? Okay, first of all, this thing has a can opener. Okay, a knife edge. Where's the knife edge? Okay, there it is. Sure enough, it's kind of sharp. A screwdriver. I guess that's it. Oh, there's a diagram on the back. If I need it, a ruler, because Lord knows you need to measure things while you're surviving. A can opener. Okay. A cap opener. I'm sorry. I thought they listed can opener twice. It's a cap opener. Okay. 4-position wrench. Okay, one of those things. For various nuts and bolts. Butterfly wrench. Okay. Is that doohickey there? Huh. And a saw blade. Yeah. And a 2-position wrench. Okay, we're getting a lot of wrenches here. And a lanyard hole, keyring hole. I don't know how to list that as a attribute, but I guess they do. Okay, so there's that card, and it comes in this little vinyl carrying case. And the next you have the ubiquitous Paracord bracelet, and this is one like you see so many times with a compass and a fire starter, and there's supposed to be a whistle. Yeah, there's the whistle right there. Then you have the saw, which is right here. It's a little heftier than some I've seen. And then there's another whistle, and it looks like maybe this might have a little compartment for, I don't know, putting things in. We'll see. And then here is the not quite Leatherman or Gerber standard multi-tool. So what we'll do is we'll take each item and use them and see how they fare and put them in either the go or the no-go pile and decide whether or not this $9.99 Amazon Prime survival kit cuts the mustard. Alright, first we're going to look at this standalone whistle. And this is a whistle with a little compartment right here that is probably big enough to throw some matches in there or some fire starter. Some of that waxed cotton would be good in there, but it has nothing in it. But it would work for that. And how does it go for a whistle? Oh, it's a great whistle. P-less. That's a good little whistle. Okay, so whistle and a little compartment for some fire starter. However, it didn't come with any. So I'm going to say that's a go. We'll put that in the go pile. All right, next is the saw. And I have a real love-hate relationships with wire saws. I think I've only owned one that I actually thought was good, and it was basically, I mean, it looked like a chainsaw blade, so it was pretty bulky and not something you'd figure in for a pocket survival kit. And it worked. It was some work to use, but it worked. Okay, so this one, it's got some fairly nice rings, and you know, seems like fairly aggressive wire. Let's take it out and cut something, see how it does. All right, it just so happens that I'm burning today, and I got some stuff here to burn. So let's go ahead and see if we can cut this right here. And you got to go easy with these saws. They're not great. Let me get that piece of magnolia out of there. Can you see in the camera still? Okay, and the trick is to really kind of go easy with this and not to bear down, and so that it doesn't bite too much into the wood, because then you'll just get stuck. So, got me a groove going, and I got stuck. That's just how these saws are. That's why I say it's a love-hate relationship, because I'd love for it to work, and I hate when it doesn't. So, as a saw goes, it's just about as good as every other little piece of crap wire saw that I've ever seen. Could you make it work in a survival situation? Yeah, you're going to expend a lot of energy doing it. But yeah, you can make it work. Now, I will say that these rings were as comfortable as any I've ever had. They're fairly thick. I don't know if you can see that about them, but they're fairly thick. And actually, it seems robust enough that, you know, it's not going to break. But, you know, it suffers from the same problems that every other tiny wire saw suffers from. So we're going to put the wire saw in the yes column. A qualified yes. If you are a person that believes that wire saws have a place in your survival kit, small wire saws, and I want to make that distinction, small wire saws, then yes, this one is certainly good. I'll say it's about as good as any small wire saw I have ever used. And that's surprising, coming out of a $10 kit. If you have not had much success with wire saws of this size, then I would say perhaps that space in your survival kit would be better taken up by something else. All right, next let's look at the Paracord bracelet, and specifically all the tools on it. First of all, a compass. Well, you know what? That compass isn't too bad. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get in the... In general, that compass is actually doing a pretty darn good job. Okay. I'm kind of surprised, but it is. Okay, as far as the Paracord bracelet, I mean, I'm sure this is not GI quality paracord. That's okay. I see very little GI quality paracord. As far as the little ferrule rod, let's see how that does. Anybody see any sparks? Okay, I'm seeing a little bit of a spark. You know, these things, they're not the best thing in the world. They work, sort of, but they're not the best thing in the world. All right, here's some Walmart Paracord. Let's see if it'll cut. Yeah, it cuts. I mean, it's not a great knife, but it's a knife. All right, and then there's a little saw. Let's see if it'll saw anything. You know, you may want to use it if you were building a bow drill or something, or notching for some reason, building some sort of trap, but it's not something you'd want to do a law sawing with. Now as for these other doodads, I mean, there's the bottle opener and the can opener. I don't know how good a can opener that would be. I think we need to test that. You know, damned if that can opener don't work pretty good. Alright, the other items on there, the little wrenches and all, I mean, yeah, they usually work. Don't know how much use they have, but I'm fairly impressed with the saw, the can opener, and the knife. Those things did work. So, pretty heavy, kind of hefty. Is it worth the wait for those couple of items? Not real sure, but I think you'd be better off with a folding blade and a little piece of saw blade and a John Wayne or P38. But anyway, yes, we're gonna have to call it a success, because dang it, that can opener worked pretty good. Next up is the multi-tool, and I have no real hope for this being a good item. First of all, let's check out this flashlight. Well, it's a flashlight. Let's take it in the dark and see how bright it is. So we're here in the shed, as in past flashlight tests, and you turn it on by screwing the head counterclockwise, and this is a pretty good amount of light. I mean, it's so bright that when I shine it right at the snake bite kit sign, I can't read it because it's too bright, so I have to aim it somewhere else. Definitely bright enough to read, so it's brighter than some I've tested in the past. Not bad, not bad. All right, we're back at the lab. Let's look at these pliers and these wire cutters on the pliers. Let's see if I can get in focus here. Well, they're cutting this light gauge wire pretty good. Now, are you gonna go through barbed wire or concertina? No, you're not. You're not. But if you had some wire for a wired snare, it would definitely aid you in using that wire. So what else is on this tool? Well, there's a, Lord, I hope that's not supposed to be a knife. Yeah, that's a knife. It needs to be sharpened. There's a Phillips head. There's another can opener. And there's a little saw. See, we've got a lot of redundancy in this kit, and I think that's going to be its downfall. So on one side is just the flashlight. The other side is these other tools, which we've already got a saw and a knife. So there's some redundancy there. Let's see how good the knife is first of all. Once again, we got our paracord. That knife is dull as butter. At first I thought it was a file. Okay, that knife is terrible. It has no edge on it. Now, can that be fixed? Yeah, it can be fixed, but I mean, it doesn't even have a point. All right, let's see how the saw works. Okay. This saw works better than the one on that card, which is a very low hurdle, but it does work better. So, and as far as the pliers go, I mean, they'd be okay for picking some thorns out, maybe, or some cactus tines, maybe twisting some of that wire if you were doing some sort of snare stuff. But other than that, you know, you can look at their maw. You know, if you did have some nuts to turn, bolts to turn. All right, we're going to put this multi-tool in a very shaky status of the go pile, mostly because of that light, because the light was fairly impressive. So far, everything's in the go pile, although I'm tempted to move that out. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of funny about it. So that's everything. Those are all the items that come in this kit. You know, we had a lot of saves. The compass saved the bracelet. The can opener saved this little card multi-tool. The flashlight saved this little multi-tool. So while everything is in the go pile, the whole kit's barely hanging in there. Okay, so, but it was $9.99. So the final decision here is, if you want something to kind of start your own survival kit, this little $10 kit might be a good way to start. There's certainly more room in this box, and you could probably get something going out of this fairly cheaply. That's my 2 cents. All right, thanks for watching. Oh, and I did want to show that I actually was able to get everything back in the box, which is a big deal to me, and that's good.